ain't no Joey don't play today. But showing a little compassion and concern, like, because I had this one lady, I'm not gonna lie, when I was trying to get guys, somebody tried to get me and slipped me something. I think it was in the Four Loko. I'm pretty sure it was in the Four Loko because I don't drink. So I was like, I'll take a sip. This was a long time ago. I was like, I'll take a little sip. I'll take a little sip of Four Loko. I mean, it wasn't even a lot. So I'm like, it probably was some date rape mixed with Four Loko mixed with weed. And I think we what else did we do? Well, I think we might have I think that was it. It was just weed, Four Loko, something mixed with Four Loko. But that was like neither here nor there. So I ended up going through this wild trip, like a completely wild trip, like a wild trip. I was like, whoa. And like I said, I kicked them out. What about my business? End up calling the police. It was like, I can't, like something's wrong. Like I'm going through all these emotions. I completely destroyed my apartment. When I say completely, I broke that up. And but it wasn't a talking back to anybody, standing in one spot. It wasn't like the harassment at Polo Grounds. It was me in a real chemically induced psychosis, a real chemically induced psychosis. So that's how I know the difference. So I'm sitting here like, y'all fucking with somebody that knows the difference. So I'm like looking at New York City like, fine, if we go to court, I'm killing you. Like literally, it'll be a wrap. Because I'll be like, honey, I've been there before. I've been in a chemically induced state to where I actually, a long time ago, tried to like mess my apartment up, did this, did that. But I wasn't, you don't think, pause, stand, wait, try to move to get away from sound. You don't try to like put headphones on. You don't try to put earplugs in. You don't try to call music. When you're in a chemically induced state, it's like Tasmanian devil. And that's how it was back then. I was like Tasmanian devil, just taking stuff. Until like something hit me like, what are you doing? It's like, oh yeah, whoa. This doesn't feel right. Oh, like I was like, I need to stop. Oh, all right. But it's like I couldn't. I wasn't thinking about where it's sound coming from, who said what, who did what, where the banging was coming from, who was talking over my head, who was talking at the door, who was talking outside, how to get away from the noise, what to cut on to kind of make a buffer, tell somebody, please cut on music. Like, that shows you clearly that somebody was harassed. I just thought about this, like, hands down. But then in the past, I'm going back to what I was talking about like the homeless thing, but you wanted to go into the emergency room. When I went through there, they were real nice. They came and picked me, they took me to the hospital. That's when I had the whole trip about hearing something. And tried to fight security, but security didn't even, and that's another thing. Where did that come from? I just thought about that. Huh. Like, I just thought about that. So then they gave me the shot. It was like six security officers. I was like, bucket. I was like, it was like, next thing you know, they grabbed me. I was like, I'm dead. I was probably like, five. It was five. There was three in the front, two in the back. And I was one in the front, two in the side of the front, and two in the back. And I remember like fighting and then getting that shot and waking up. I think probably like a day later, laying in the bed with somebody beside me. It was a real nice Jamaican lady. Really nice Jamaican lady. And, she helped me. Well, do you need anything? I was like, no, I'm good. she's talking. I think she's kind of like my mother too. She was like, you know, I can't even do her Jamaican accent, but she was like, we want to know why you do that to us. And I'm like, ma'am, you know, I love my life, da da da. It wasn't da da da. She's like, I know. I'm like, I see. Tell me about it. I think I kind of told her the gist of it. And she was like, I'm gonna ask you. I think she said, I'm gonna ask you again. I can recall correctly. Why you do that to yourself? I was just like, I looked at her like, I didn't do it. And she was like, she looked at me. I was like, oh, I get what you're saying. I shouldn't even put myself in this situation. And she was like, I was just like, you right, I don't know. She's like, oh, no, you're beautiful, young man. You're young. You got a lot going for you. You're in New York. You got your apartment. You know, get ready to go to school. And I was like, you know what, you're right. Da, da, da. She's like, so, you know, da, 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 da. What's wrong with you? I think, like, I sat there and I started thinking about that the whole time. Like, what is wrong? But it was somebody actually showing the compassion to sit there and talk to somebody the way they need to be talked to. But long story short, like I sat there and I thought, I was like, wow, I think I must have been fast tracked. That was another thing too. I was like, maybe you should fast track some people, not the ones because there be some people that take advantage of it, and you can kind of see those coming about the way, but the people that actually need the help. You have them kind of sitting and waiting and doing this and that, like treating them like, you know what I mean? Not like they're better than nobody else, but like they need the help. Because you have some people there with family, some people there with friends, and yeah, you know, their problem is just as severe, but then sometimes you can kind of move it down to the severity list. Like, you know, we got this guy by himself, he tried to move the group, let's just push him through silently. You know what I mean? Oh, why did he get to go first? Well, his case is a little different. We need to make sure that we flush his system. Like, y'all come up with a million and one things to say. Like, we gotta make sure you flush the system because something happened. You go into septic shock, blah, blah, blah. And then push the nigga on in and put him in somewhere where you actually give a little more consideration to his problem. Sometimes people need that. Not to be sitting there talking about, oh, yeah. I'm like, really? Like, why is they acting like? Unless they knew I was gonna come here and y'all were gonna act like that. Oops. So it's kind of like it just amazes me how psychology plays into so much. Like even like the target market I was talking about, the job I work. I didn't like working at work, so I wanted to work on the medical side. I was like, target market for medical can be great, depending on what you're trying to target market. But because you're trying to target market about being healthy, right? But target market about spending, about going here, about going there. I'm like, it should be to where you know what you like, you know what you want to do. I would say target because you target market somebody, you keep them in a bubble. That's another psychology flaw. Target market, oh no, it's good because it brings you stuff that you might like, but then what about the stuff you don't know about? Like, what about the stuff that you can't even fathom thinking or doing? And I've said this before, when I first started doing target market, I was like, why do you do this, why do you do that? But what about the stuff that you're keeping me from? And sometimes I'll be looking at, whatchamacallit, but, excuse me, what? Like, you target market, you block somebody from doing stuff. I don't know what that was. That's supposed to be funny. I don't know if he's talking to me or not. Anyway, what would be the whole purpose of target marketing? Keep somebody in some bubble. I see a lot of stuff on Instagram that necessarily isn't targeted, and it makes me want to do it. Like when you scroll through the reels makes me want to try other things. I see somebody jumping, see somebody diving, see somebody going and using this, going and using that. Like after I finish putting together this what you call it, and going through it, I think to myself like I'm gonna try all of that. I don't get targeted marketed about nothing about boats. I like books. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand this person that tries to not the person walking, but the person talking to the person walking. But it's kind of weird. I don't know. It's like it's just like you have all these thoughts. And you're like, is that what this person is taking? If that's what this person is taking, I would be like, hey, so why am I? No, you already been through this. I've already been through the shopping system as far as like maybe discounts to gyms. It's that you got what too much to do, you can go to the gym. Um, Discounts and educational stuff while you here. Somebody tell me what is it? They had like a they had like one of the things where people come in and they do like open room counseling, but it wasn't like open room counseling. It was like they served you a snack. Everybody came for the snack and left. So I was like, I don't think people really would want that. Maybe one-on-one therapy. Like maybe do like therapy where you connect somebody to something and then it can also feel a little more catered to or special because wow, this person is actually sitting here listening to my problems. Like I went to CCRB and I was like, I talked her ear off. I was like, wow, I really talked this lady's ear off. But she was like, it's not like you got a lot going on. And she kind of told me you probably would focus on the lawyer thing. I was like, you're right. Because I don't see somebody doing what they should be doing, doing the right thing at all. Um, it's just somebody trying to like push that thought in my head, but no backing behind it. Like, yeah, you look at it. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. You're just trying to say that, so I don't invest time in doing it myself. And another nigga feel special. So I said, there, I was like, I just kept going and going. I had to apologize to her. Oh my god, I randomly almost. I didn't really let her speak too much, but I wanted to give her a glimpse at what was going on by showing a little compassion, a little time. Like I said, with the whole going through the homeless fast tracking and maybe somebody telling them what to do. Stop doing that. Like, are you trying to get somebody to get shot up with a sedative? Like this guy came in, he was screaming, the white guy screaming about black problems. Oh yeah, my niggas in the struggle. Ah, F them, F them C's, F them C's. I'm looking like now, I could think the word. A little inside joke because of what happened that was racial towards me. Now, this must have been what that means because while these people were sitting there, they were being racist towards me. Maybe they knew it or didn't know it. But he could say all day long in the middle of an emergency room, I'm like, whoa. It's just like I don't get it. It's so much entailed in this where I'm like, people, that's why I'm trying to tell people to back away from that whole listen to somebody in the hallway. Because I'm like, there's so much entailed in this where I'm like, it probably would be beneficial for y'all to either do that. Like, if you're not helping the situation, for you to kind of either back up and kind of just sit and be like, well, let me see what goes on. That way, if he needs to be back, we can back him. Like, the way that guy came upstairs, it was like, I was trying to shoot me with his hand while I was talking to the guy down the hall. He was like, oh, you seem like a nice person. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, right. Like, if you talk to me, I'm really down to hell. I'm down to earth as hell. And I'm actually way relatable on a whole bunch of different levels. Like, I've been through hanging around rich folk, hanging around poor folk, hanging around black, white, Asian, that's what I'm like, it's not like I'm just one dimension. And that's what somebody tears my being, my essence, my aura apart. Try to say, oh, he this, oh, he that, oh, he this, oh, he that. So that's why I'm like, why would somebody sit there and constantly calling somebody names or calling stuff out loud or calling out passwords? It's like you want somebody to do what? Like you want somebody to look into my stuff so then you have an excuse. Like you want somebody to think of talking about them so they can hear, I guess. Right? Like if you keep telling once you fall down the hall, oh, he just called you. After saying it about 6 times, guess what's gonna happen? They gonna start listening. Instead of just saying, hey, something weird is going on down the hall. Can you look out for him? It's like somebody made that whole thing a game. It's like a that's why I don't really like too many people doing. I think that's why they don't do lengthy investigation. Because after a while, you kind of start manipulating somebody's life. And you start to get this whole, what's it called, like this holier than thou, I control your life with your mind type mentality. Or either like an experiment too. Like if you experiment, you start getting this whole playing mind. And I just sit here like, wow, like how do people let people do that? Was somebody really giving people $100 to invest in stuff? Just go and do things. I don't know. This is just my thought of the morning. I thought that we were ready for it. I watch a movie and chill. I just, like I said, sometimes I have to reset myself, especially with a lot of talking. And I feel like in my sleep, I just feel like something's bombarding. Like you hear somebody just, and you wake up to bouncing. Maybe it's like in the later part or right when I wake up, but still, like you don't want to wake up to that. and I upload it. So I want to record my, what you call this, personal